Got up this morning, I crawled out of my bed. My back was really aching, my eyes were cherry red. It's just the morning after, I don't remember who was here. I'll eat a slice of that cold pizza and wash it down with warm beer. I got that not so fresh feeling from my head down to my toes. I think I had a good time. Heaven only knows. It's just the morning after. Lord, it's funky up in here. Help me now, yeah. I'll eat a slice of cold pizza and wash it down with warm beer.
Yeah, you got it now. Hey. What up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, my man?
Not much. It's Friday morning. Welcome to the morning after with JP and Big Joe. It's just the morning after. Joe, you look rough, buddy. Like you had a rough night. What's going on?
It wasn't that bad. I've had worse. But yeah, I'm pretty beat, man. No, I'm out here in Denver. We're in the zero block, whatever the freak that means.
Yeah, what does?
Well, I look out on the sign and there's 3 zeros on it, and for some reason everyone calls it the zero block. But from what I understand, that we're in the middle of everything. So you walk 20 minutes that way, this way, that way, boom, 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 boom. So we did a lot of walking yesterday.
Yeah, alcohol free. You're out there walking around, enjoying the nightlife, and you're not even allowed to take a sip of no beer.
Not so much that I'm not allowed to. It's more that I don't want to.
To
be completely honest, I mean, that was on my mind because, I have a bad back. And after I do some, I'm actually recovering from being injured and on the couch for a couple of weeks. So I'm not up to 100%. I never was at 100% anyways, but the booze, man, when you're walking around and you're not feeling good, or like, especially with me with my back pain, give me 5 shots and dude, like, let's do it.
Oh yeah.
And then it just lubricated everything, and now I'm sitting there going like, really, you want to go to the strip club? Fuck. Normally I'm like, I'm driving, let's go.
The lifestyle we live, being in bands, and it's just different without alcohol. It's not worse, but it's different. You know what I mean? Like, last night you weren't in a band, but you're out on the town, and being in bands, we go out on the town, and we're just used to having a little alcohol. And then you and I, for the last couple of years, no alcohol. It's tough, man.
No, it is. I just find it that I could take a step back and look at the madness of the situation.
Yeah.
And going like, damn, this is nuts. I mean, it's cool out here. The nightlife, streets are shut down, so like restaurants are like serving people in the middle of the street, and it's popping. It's a good scene. Live music outside. I had a blast.
What are the COVID protocols like in Colorado?
It still seems a little bit similar to California. It just seems like they're maybe a couple months advance to where everything's going. So like I've noticed some in the store dining, which I think California just did that. You could have like a couple people. So it's not much different. They're just advanced by a couple weeks, couple months to where,
okay,
they have it down. I mean, I see a lot of people walk around with masks. I see, just like everywhere, a lot of people not wearing masks. Me, when I'm walking around, I'm definitely, I have it ready. And, if I have problems breathing, I'll bring it down. And if someone comes up, I'll bring it up, but it just depends on how populated the street is. If I have to cross somebody's path, which you are a lot, dude. Out here, everybody's walking their dog.
Yeah.
Like, I feel weird that I don't have a dog and I'm not walking it right now. Like, I'm out of place. Like, they know that I'm not from here.
You ever like go across the street or something when you see someone coming, or you just, because that's what I do. Even if I have a mask, I'm like, fuck that, I'm going across the street.
I'll walk into the street. I won't cross the street, but I'll definitely if I see them, I'll give them. But this is something I'm used to, anyways. I'm 6'6". I'm a big dude, and just like people see me, and I could tell they're not very excited that they're gonna have to walk past me. So I just walk into the street, anyways. Just to
put their mind at ease.
Exactly. Just like, oh shit, oh, he's moving across. All right, and I'm like, dude, I know you fucking are shitting your pants right now. I can smell it.
Yeah. There's a 6'7" Viking walking towards me.
But it's funny because old people don't care. It's just normally, it's like, I figured I'd be more scarier to like grandma and grandpa going, oh shit, don't hurt me. But they're the ones I sit there and talk to the most. Like,
What's that like to be physically intimidating?
It's not bad unless if I'm out and about, like the nightlife situation, because I've always get the people that are trying to find the biggest guy in the room.
Yeah.
And I don't want to brag, but dude, most of the time I'm the biggest guy in the room. And if there's a guy that's bigger than me, I'm always normally over there talking to him, because I'm like, how does it feel to look somebody straight in the eyes? Because man, I normally have to look down, but I've had people approach me, and then they want to see how much of a badass I am, and I'm not.
How much of a badass they are. It's a challenge for them.
It is. And then they figure out that, I just kill them with kindness. And the next thing I got a friend. But I definitely know how to get out of those, walk away from those situations now.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, this guy doesn't want to buy him a drink and just fucking bounce when his attention is.
Buy him a drink. Go so far to buy him a drink. It's very nice.
Yeah. Just like I said, you kill him with kindness, because you show any aggression, they'll sit there, you're waiting for it. Like, I've had people come up to me and just like, hey, go ahead and just say anything and I'll hit you. I'm just waiting for you to say it.
Some people go out to fight. Like,
they know they do. And I wasn't even an angry drunk either, so like that's just not my style.
Long time ago, Jordan and I were walking the town or whatever. My best friend Jordan, and we ran into this old friend from high school, and we were like, "What's up, man? What are you up to tonight?" And he literally told us, "Looking for a fight." And I was like, "The fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, go enjoy your night." But he's like, to him, that's enjoying it.
Well, if you're good at fighting,
no evidence of that. He's, maybe he is, maybe he's not. I think he just has issues and wants to.
If you got anger issues going on, then and sometimes people just need to get their ass beat, I guess.
Or just go talk about your feelings.
Me walking downtown, I'm like, oh, there's a band. Do they need a bass player? Like, dude, I'm gonna jump in there and I'm gonna play. Like, oh no, they don't. I'm looking for a bass, and all that stuff. The band that I heard last night had a backing track with a bass on it. But
where were they? Where was it?
They were outside of a restaurant. It was like a jazz band kind of going on, but it was a saxophone player and I want to say the guitar player, but. There was a guy and a girl and the guitar player. But what I noticed most about the guitar player was he was working a computer at the same time. But he was an older dude. So, like, I don't know. You could tell that's probably how he makes it. He's probably retired. Probably just makes his money playing at a couple restaurants here and there. And it was fun, exciting music. It wasn't boring, but the drums and the bass were all coming through a computer.
And you're like, let me get in on that. Let me give you some human bass.
See, and I actually been walking around with this bad boy right here, and you plug it in.
Okay. Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
He's easy to travel on the airplanes, so when I go home.
What kind of strings are on that? Are they steel strings or?
No, they're rubber strings. This is a U bass by Kayla, and they're really rubbery. And what the appeal is when you plug it in, it sounds like a stand-up bass.
Oh.
So it's just fun, you know. The one
Man,
thing it just doesn't do chords very well.
Have you
But,
ever
you know.
thought about trying to get that thing on a Violation Wound song, or
No, because you know I think
just wouldn't have it?
it no, it just doesn't translate really quickly. You know, the speed.
Now,
But we did
wait a
an
minute.
acoustic album,
I was just gonna say, Violation Wound has an acoustic album.
but we played very fast, and I had a man that acoustic album. Go listen to it. It's
It's a treasure.
that was a fun time, I think.
You guys stay busy. Pre-COVID, you guys were cranking shit out.
Yeah, you know, we were just we were writing a lot of stuff, and Chris would come with a batch of songs, and he goes, "Hey, you guys ready to work on the next thing?" It was always we were either working towards a performance, like, all right, let's get the set list down, and then once that was done, it was like, all right, the next thing is working towards album number 5 or number 3.
Right.
And so we always just had that project in front of us, and yeah, Chris was like, "Hey, I got a new song." "Oh, new song? Yeah, 20 of them." I'm like, "What?" Like, that guy is just constantly pumping them out. And it's nuts, you know. I love it. You know, it kept me busy. It was exactly actually what I was looking for. You know, I was doing ZH, and it was just a little bit busy, and the travel was too much, and just everything else in life that I had certain challenges going on, and Violation Wound. There was a lot. It looks like there's a ton going on. It's really just really easy and really casual. We got together as friends and partied and had a good time. You know, it wasn't like we're sitting there in the woodshed. I mean, but Chris, like last year, Chris was like on 6 different recordings. He did like 6 different things. It was like fucking crazy.
He's a busy guy. He's in demand.
He is. I watched him. A German. I don't know where they're from. The Thrashman. Now I can't even remember which one it was. It was the German band, I think. Anyways, this band asked him to fill in and be the vocalist, and he went in there and he was like, "All right, yeah, I'll sing whatever you want." And he goes, "Oh, well, we didn't write lyrics," so he wrote lyrics like within a couple weeks of the whole album, and he actually went to Earhammer Studios and recorded it. He did like a week's worth of work in like 3 days.
Which band is this? You can't remember the name?
Oh no, I can't. What was it?
You said a German band?
No, I don't know if it's German.
Oh, okay.
It's like an all-star. It's bands from other people. I bet you you know other people would know. I got a bad memory, dude. I was there for a little bit of it of the recording. I was definitely partying and definitely just there to be there.
I hear you on the memory thing. I think my long-term memory is like pretty good, but if you tell me like we were talking about 5 minutes ago, I'll be like, I'll have to check the tape.
Just constantly write yourself notes. Power. Damn it, I had it for a second.
Power.
I can't remember.
Fun Power. Fun Power should be a band.
But I don't know that word power right now. Jeremy better change his name.
Jeremy Power. Power Trip. R.I.P. to the great Riley Gale. Yeah, what a cool band. I got into them too late. I just started listening to them like a few months ago, and now Riley's gone, so that sucks. But
yeah, it's too, did they ever get to the bottom of how he passed away? I
haven't looked into that. I don't care to. It's not going to be good. You know, it's never good.
No, you're right.
I did hear that he passed in his sleep, but I'm not going to speculate on that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Much respect to that band. They're really cool. Wasn't sure. I didn't know what they were about. They're just fucking really fun, solid thrash metal. It's great.
Yeah, no, and they're real riffy, which I really absolutely love. You know.
Yeah, very Kill 'Em All-ish sounding. The first thing I heard by them was it might have been their first album or second album. It had a very Kill 'Em All kind of feel to it.
There you go.
So yeah, it was great. Rest in peace to that man. So I was gonna read some poetry here, but I think I'm gonna hold off on that because we have a guest in the house today. We do. This man is responsible for some pretty sweet recordings. I believe Greg Wilkinson's coming on the show in a minute here. I believe he recorded the new NECROT album, which is is it NECROT or NECROT? Can you tell me?
I've heard both. I've heard
You've
both,
heard
and I've
both?
been made.
Okay.
I've heard both, and I've been made fun of for calling it both different ways.
All right. Well, Greg should know, so we'll have him on.
Right?
All right, we'll bring him on now. So, without further ado, here's Greg Wilkinson. How you doing, Greg?
Hey, how you doing? Good.
Doing
Yo.
very well.
Yeah.
Look at that crystal clear video. Your audio's perfect. I love that. Beautiful. Good work, man.
Can't be a sound engineer and sound like crap, right?
I wasn't sure if you're going to be in a booth with headphones. And anyway, so.
I'm too lo-fi for that. Yeah. I have a couple answers for you, Joe. It was Siege of Power for Ryfort's thing.
See, that's what I knew I was going to
Yeah.
say. So just get Greg on here, and he'll tell us. You know.
Yeah. And then
I have it too. I own it, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that was I can't believe he came and banged those vocals out in that day. You know,
Yeah.
It was like a half a day or something. He just like, bam, done, good. Let's do this.
And he had to write the lyrics too.
He wrote he wrote the lyrics before coming in.
Okay.
He's too smart for that, you know. But
Writing him on the
yeah.
spot.
yeah, oh god,
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
Writing
that
lyrics
is.
it's scary, man.
Yeah, I used to do that, and then you're stuck with them for the rest of your life. You're like, wow, that line's dumb, you know. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
NECROT or NECROT?
NECROT.
NECROT. That's what I
Yeah.
said first.
That's at least that's what the members say, you know. Sometimes Luke will put his little Italian swing on it, and it might be a little more NECROT or something, but I believe it's NECROT, you know.
Okay. And by the way, congratulations on that record. It sounds amazing. It's doing really well. Everyone's talking about it. Like my Twitter is like exploded. That's partly because of Scotty. He's very good at promote. But oh my God, it sounds amazing. Congratulations on that record. Great work.
Thank you.
Yeah. How long did it take to record that thing? And did you record it during COVID times?
No, we finished it before COVID. So we were able to we actually did this thing where we set aside, I think it was like 20 days or something. And we didn't even use all of them. We by the end, we were sitting there like, I don't know what else is wrong with this record. What can we figure out? You know, and the days just started kind of spiraling down, getting a little shorter as we were going. And after a while, we're like, let's just send this off to mastering. I mean, it sounds like it's going to sound, you know what I mean? We don't want to pick this thing apart too much because I think part of their aesthetic is that they're probably the tightest band I can think of, you know, consistently. They're really tight. They know their music. They come in prepared. The solos are figured out. Everything's going on, you know? So, you know, what else can you do, you know, and stuff with that. So
just get out of the way.
Pretty much, you know, just make sure the tones are there and push buttons and hang out with them, you know, and stuff. So
you don't want it to be like Star Wars where George Lucas keeps going back and adding and taking things away, you know.
No, you picture so I don't know, the equivalent of CGI on a recording coming back in there, putting some MIDI keyboards or something on it. 10 years.
Some Jar Jar Binks stuff. Yeah, 10 years down the road.
Yeah.
Is that Han Solo in the Carbonite? Is that at your studio?
It is, yeah.
Okay, I thought so because there's a picture of Joe with it, and then there's a picture of all you guys in front of it. I was like, is that part of the fucking studio? That is awesome.
Yeah, he's been chilling there since day one. He still has an original Sparks can, which is cool, in his hand. And he's got like $3 on him too. He just kind of collects stuff, you know, over time, you know. People just kind of donate to Han. It's cool.
Wow, you just blew
right
my
next
mind.
to the front door.
I should put it outside actually and see what kind of donations we get. I'm pretty sure the donation will be to the person who steals it, you know. But
Exactly. No, that's a pretty wild street that you live on.
yeah,
It's like fucking life size too. That's stealable. I'm gonna grab
it
that.
is. Yeah, I'm gonna grab that. Oh yeah.
Well, awesome, man. I've got a question about Earhammer Studios. What's going on there with the last year? I mean, what's it like running a recording studio during these times?
Yeah, I know it's crazy. It's been like over half a year now. Well, basically things were steaming along. I had a crazy fall, winter right before, and I was going to scale back anyways, but I had started with a handful of remote sessions right when COVID started. So I was kind of lucky because I had some work to work through. I was working on Undergang. They have a new record that's coming out pretty soon. Working on Withered, which is they're doing a new record. And there was another band I can't remember. I was doing I did something for Hyperdontia, and so I was basically had that to kind of like while the world figured out what happens to people who are self-employed. You know, what do we do about this? So I was able to continue paying bills at least. And now I've just been working remote, like no attended sessions. You know, we're just doing remote stuff here. And it's been good. You know,
no one's coming in to your studio physically.
No one's physically coming in. So
wow. Do you feel like you have less control in that when it's like that?
Let's just say it's not my preferred way of working, at least until I'm mixing. I would prefer to have people and, you know, communicate what's going on with these layers, what the intentions are, and get the proper tones. But fortunately, a lot of the stuff I've been getting, the engineers have been putting care into the tracking and stuff. And so in that situation, it hasn't been too bad yet. I've had one or two where I've kind of had to really just kind of reinvent the wheel with it and stuff. But, you know, with modern technology, I request that there's DIs for the guitars and bass, that the drums everything is tuned up and mic'd. Most of the time, if you're going to an engineer, they know how to do that. So, you know, if they're not, then I get more creative with it, you know, and stuff. So EQs start to look insane. So you know. So
say you were recording my guitars this week. If I could record something on my own digital audio workstation, and what you'd reamp it there?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So
did you ever have to send something back, like a bad steak or something like this isn't good enough? Please do it again.
So far, not yet. I have in past before COVID, but the COVID stuff, a lot of the stuff I've been getting more recently has been stuff. There's a lot of restoration stuff that's been happening too, because now what's happening is, now bands are kind of getting back together and jamming. But I think after about 2.5 months, people started getting really retrospective about their recordings, and they're like, I was in this band, we never finished recording this thing, but I've got all the files and stuff. So there's some of that, and there's bands that started recording stuff maybe at the beginning of the year with somebody else, and COVID happened and the engineer couldn't get together with the band, but the engineer might not have like experience mixing full bands, that kind of thing. Even though they're completely capable of mixing records, it's easier for somebody who's new to working with like a full band to understand how to basically like get all the egos to gel together onto one record, you know, and stuff. Because you know, that's something that took a long time for me, is to get, how do you get every single person on the record to be heard all the time, or at least when it's really necessary to. And it is kind of a major thing to do, because you want them to be heard, and to be heard the way they want to be heard, not just there's this flapping, you know, piece of garbage guitar coming out of the right speaker, but I can hear hiss. There's something there, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, it's almost as if you're acting as a moderator between these band members. You know what I mean? Because, you know, sometimes there's infighting between bands, bass is too loud, guitar's too loud, vocals too loud. What do you do? And I mean, in my experience, I'm going to trust the producer, and I'm going to let the producer make those decisions, you know, what's too loud and what's not. But what do you do when you're banging heads with a band member that just they can't hear themselves enough? Or
so what I try to do is I've learned, I've always been not the engineer. There's a lot of engineers that do the fake fader moves, you know. Oh yeah, like I totally check it out, and they jack the EQ up, and and stuff, and then the person's like, oh yeah, I hear it, cool, yeah, good, you know.
It's like a placebo effect, right?
Yeah, and so for me, I'm like, I don't want these bands coming back and requesting the same asinine stuff. So I actually try to explain to them, and I'll physically do it, you know, and say, this is what's going to happen if you do that here. And then, you know, most of the time it's I find that it's easier to do that than, you know, you kind of work with because I mean, if you're in a relationship and let's say you've got a buddy that gets into bar fights every time you go to a bar, and you talk to them and say, hey, can you stop getting into bar fights or something, you know, or like, maybe can you, I have a feeling it's your attitude when you talk to people, can you try changing that? And the friend's like, fuck you, I'm not going to change your attitude or whatever, my attitude. And they just continue getting into bar fights. But then you keep to bringing that friend out. That's kind of like the way I look at it with bands, where it's like, you know, yeah, sure, I'm going to just pretend that nothing's, you know, that I'm doing all this fake stuff and they're going to like it or whatever. And then the record, you know, you're constantly just kind of lying to them, and you're dealing with the same thing over and over, and they're going to ask you the same stupid stuff. Whereas like if you just say, this is how it works, bam, okay, here you go, listen to it. No, I don't like that. That actually is too far. And the whole band, or you let the other three people in the band say, dude, that's ridiculous, you can't have this too loud or whatever. Yeah. And let the band hash it out. And you know, I find that most of the time that works better than trying to just do the gloss over fake thing, you know. And the next time the band comes in, they trust me more because they actually know that there is like something in between my ears, and that, you know, I've experienced this, and you know, and if they want to, a lot of times it's them just inquiring what would happen if I did this, as opposed to, I really can't hear the record without you doing this, you know, kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a building block, I think. Mm-hmm. And even if they don't come back to me and they go to somewhere else, they're not going to bug the next engineer either. So
yeah, no, you good example. I've worked with producers that straight up have gone, that is wrong, and we're not going to do that, and you guys need to figure out what you're going to do instead of that. And it's kind of it's a you know, but once again, I respect the person recording, because I don't know anything about that stuff. So, Greg, I'd let you whip me if we were.
That's that. It'll definitely make the record sound better.
Yeah. Right? So, what's going on with the bands you're in right now? When was the last time you jammed with anybody? You guys getting together or what? So, for those who don't know, Greg is in Brainoil. They've been around for damn near 20 years. Deathgrave. Are you guys all based out of San Jose?
So actually, technically now 3 of us live in Oakland, but we still so Fern's been staying up in Oakland with me since COVID lockdown happened, because I don't have any roommates here, so it's just more convenient for us to hole up here. Right. And then, so Deathgrave initially started that everyone but me was in San Jose, but I still stay down there because Fern lives there. Okay. And then basically now we have a new drummer who lives in Oakland. And so now we've kind of flipped it. We still drive to San Jose to practice. So, you know, makes sense of that one, you know.
Wow.
But that band is based out of downtown San Jose. So okay, which is cool.
Can you tell me a little bit about Shrink Wrap Killers?
Yeah, you want to talk about, that's somebody who owns a recording studio that wants to do lo-fi new wave music.
Well, I fucking love it, man. It's got like a I don't want to compare it to anything, but when I hear it, I get like a Devo kind of vibe from it. It's really cool. How did that get started?
That's that's something. Oh shit! Here it comes.
I love it.
So basically, it's something I've always wanted to do. Even when I was, you know, first had a 4-track in high school, I've always wanted to try to do kind of like a really lo-fi, noisy new wave punk band. And I tried doing this in the early 2000s with some friends, and it just kind of morphed, and we all got too busy and we just dropped it because it got like, it didn't have the same vibe. It almost got too death rock feeling kind of thing. It was great. for what it was great. But the real thing that killed it was just that we just got too busy and did our other bands that were like full time and tours and all that. So it just kind of fell apart. So when I wanted to do the reboot of this, I wanted to do just myself, because that way I can move at a pace that's a little more relentless. Because I feel like with something like this is something you do all the time, year round, as opposed to like everybody gets together, we bang stuff out for 2 months, and then we don't talk for 4 months, and then we get back together, and then you're just playing catch up, which is what most bands wind up doing. And so that's the whole premise of this, is something I can write these songs in, like, I don't know, in 2 hours, you know, I can have like everything tracked and move on to the next song. And so that's the premise of the band, you know, was doing something that didn't involve too many people. And if it was somebody that would be a guest that I just wanted to be in there and, you know, acquire their talents, you know. So
it's no mystery that you're the man behind the shrink wrap and
no.
there's no like you know, you're trying to keep your identity secret, or I was kind of
alter ego.
Yeah, I was hoping it was an alter ego almost.
Yeah, no, you know, I mean, it's funny because I'm very candid about it's me and all that, but people are like, still think it's a full band when, you know, through social media and stuff. I kind of love it, you know, it's cool, you know, and so I do keep some of that ambiguous. Yeah, like in the marketing, I try to keep the marketing ambiguous, and rather than being like, I have a full length coming out, it's like, we have a full length coming out, because it is its own entity, is in the sense that it is a band that's going to have its own kind of personality that's not meant to change. You know, it's going to have adaptations. I'm going to probably take it into like more soundtracky at times and kind of ambient and stuff, but overall, and like kind of encompass stuff that I used to do a lot, you know, but it's always going to be some dickhead with shrink wrap on his head with a very punk kind of attitude to it, you know? So,
did you direct that video that I just played? It's really well done. And it just came out last month. It's pretty damn good. Like, you got some green screen action going on, and this is a DIY video.
This is everything shot on my iPhone.
Yes.
So I actually had to upgrade my iPhone a couple months ago because I was doing videos. I had an iPhone 6 and I've heard the cameras on the 8s are better. So
yes.
And my iPhone 6, it was amazing. Right when COVID hit, my phone batteries started becoming so anemic that I could basically hold a charge for about 30 minutes and then it would die. So so I was like, hey, you know, I need to upgrade. I need a better camera anyways. I'm going to get an 8 this time, you know? And I put a green screen in the live room now, since I can't use it for tracking right now. And been doing videos in there with that. I've learned Adobe Premiere and Photoshop. So everything's done in those two programs.
Okay.
So I'm biting the whatever $55 a month for the Adobe suites and stuff. And so
you got the whole package with the Adobe suite, right?
Yeah.
Photoshop.
Yeah. And so, you know, when you're spending something like $50 a month, you might as well use it, you know?
Yeah.
So
straight up.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Shot on iPhone. Hey, have you considered, you've seen those Apple commercials, the shot on iPhone? Have you submitted your video?
Oh, you know, I should, you know, I should just tell them.
Impressive, dude. It's impressive. I shot that on an iPhone. I'm dead serious.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So that was it's not a dead body inside this bag. Got great titles like "Stolen Electronics to Shove Up Your Ass." That's probably my favorite song title.
Yeah, that one's ignorant. The amazing thing about that project is a lot of the songs actually relate to real life experiences I've had in my life that I've actually seen or has happened or been at least a result of a conversation with somebody, you know.
Well, do you care to delve into stolen electronics to shove up your ass? What is the inspiration behind that?
So this was back when my area was complete Wild West. I remember there was this band Born Dead around here. They had a party house that was on 28th and Magnolia, which is about 4 blocks from here.
Okay.
So I was walking to their house, and I just heard scary shit down the street. You know, it was like further down Magnolia. It was all like 27th and Magnolia, and I'm walking past these guys, and these guys have 2x4s and shit, and they're chasing another guy, but they all know each other. They're all like neighborhood rat dudes, you know, kind of like, you know, they're pissed at this guy because this dude keeps breaking windows, which keeps getting the cops called to come to the neighborhood. And all these guys have like records and stuff. And so like the whole rule to the neighborhood when you move in here is don't call the cops, because a lot of innocent people are going to get swooped up. So these guys are just like, they're just basically like, we're going to shove electronics up your ass. This is the last time you've broken a window, you asshole, you know, kind of thing. And they didn't actually beat him up. They punched him and knocked him over, but they gave him another round. They were like, this is the last time, you know, we're going to let you off with one more warning, but, you know, don't do it anymore, you know? And I was just like, I was like, you know, I mean, hell, you know, I don't want my windows punched in either. I've had a good share of those, you know, so I'm cool with somebody not, you know, being like, even though the intention wasn't like, you're such a jerk for breaking windows. The mentality was like, dude, you keep getting the cops called on us, you know, like, get the hell out of here.
Fucking cops out of the
Yeah.
Well,
so,
that's the story.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, that's you behind the shrink wrap. We know that.
Busted.
Yes. Hey, Joe, did you guys record your latest Violation one with Greg?
Not our latest, but we were in there. We did
2 before that.
Yeah, we did some EP stuff with or the split with Amy's band. I can't think of Amy's band now.
Clitorati. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the with Man in Charge.
Yeah.
Now I barely remember even doing it, but I was there.
That, you know, come to think about it, that Clitorati session, you guys got like a couple split 7 inches out of that too. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, because it was a full session, and then it went off and did. It's hard for me to keep track because some things didn't come out right away. So next thing you know, just Chris would show up and, hey, here's that thing that we're doing, you know. And we did this last year. Like, we have a tape that's supposed to come out that was from like one of our shows, like 2 of our live performances. It's supposed to come out 2 years ago, and I think just 10 years down the road, the guy's going to finish it. And here's your cassette tape, dude. And you're like, oh, okay, when the fuck did we do this?
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't suck at this point. You know what I mean? Right? You got like some kind of like introspection on how you used to play or whatever, you know?
Exactly, you know. But I had a blast every time that I was at Earhammer. My favorite part is when I'd get done, I'd like to party and they'd be all in the room doing other parts, and Greg would always come up and close the door. He'd look at me and I was just too loud. He'd close the engineer room. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, sorry, dude. You're like, no, it's all good. And he probably closes the door and like, fucking asshole.
Nah, I'm so used to that kind of stuff. The one I had early on, back when my rates were really, really low, and it was just, you're just trying to just get the studio to get a name. I remembered hitting up Annihilation Time was the first time I had worked with those guys, and I was like, hey, like, you guys want to come in and record, you know, a couple songs? We'll do a 7-inch or something, you know, I'll just like be 150 flat or some shit, you know, we'll just bang it out in a day. And they're like, yeah, sure. So they showed up with like 20 people, and it was just like, there's no fucking way we're gonna be able to capture anything, you know. And we somehow made a record out of it, you know. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so we got a 7-inch out of it, and it was really fun, but at the same time, kind of like, how the hell am I supposed to work on this? Like, these guys are louder than the full stacks that are cranked, you know. But yeah,
I didn't know they brought an entourage.
Oh, they stopped. I think it was Graham was the first one to stop. He was like, fuck this. I'm like, nobody's allowed here. All the Let's Risk Gay stuff. Even Annihilation Time 3, I think the only time we had people in there was like for backup vocals. We had a party session, you know.
Okay.
and stuff. And it was like, you're on the clock, bring all your friends over, let's get wasted and let's get some backup vocals for a couple hours, you know? So, you
That's
know,
always a fun day in the recording process.
yeah,
That's
it was good. So
do you have any favorite records that you've been a part of?
oh man, you know, I've been doing this for now. I've been in here for 16 years. It's so hard to keep up, but you know, obviously, I mean, I don't know. I'd say
You've done a lot of different genres as well, right? Not just like death metal and doom metal and stuff like that. You've done a lot of like noisy type stuff. And what sticks out, well, if anything?
well, let's say I did a marching band, so that one sticks out. That was like
Nice.
it was like if Bottle Surfers made a marching band. They're called Extraction Marching Band. And so it's like I mean, we're reamping like drums through Marshall stacks and all this crazy shit. So that was a pretty fun and wild experience. I kind of owe a lot to them for like in 2008 when I went completely self-employed at that point. I had to quit my day job because I couldn't actually make it to work enough. And those guys, yeah, it was great. And those guys had me on payroll. And so they were coming in for 4 hours, 2 times a week at night. So I could work other stuff during the day. And I had those guys, I was working with them for like 2 years or something. And they just had like a repertoire, and they just kept bringing people in, and then they bring other ex-members in, and they bring like buddies in. And
It's like they had a
revolving
the Earhammer Studios.
They did. It was cool because it really helped me pay bills while I was doing this like scary self-employment thing, you know.
I was just going to say how scary that must be to tell your real job that I think I'm done here. I think I'm going to go try to do this crazy dream.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it was wild cuz the 2 years before that I was really only making it in like probably like, you know, I think it was by the last year I was making it like 1 or 2 times a month. It just got to a point where I was like, dude, I feel bad. Like I feel bad. Like you should just hire somebody else who can actually be here, because I feel like there's going to be times that you need me here and I just can't come, or I have to come and cancel on somebody else. So that's just a debacle that I don't want to be a part of, you know? So
out of curiosity, what was your day job?
I was the last thing. I've been a million things. I was a cook. I was a landscaper. Mainly kitchen jobs, honestly. And then I did landscaping for a while. I was a window installer. And then the last job I had, I was like a maintenance / IT kind of handyman, if that makes sense. So I knew how to deal with computers well enough for like data entry and that kind of stuff, but I also could like fix counters and doors and that kind of shit. So
there you go.
It was kind of one of those things where it was like some days it was like, hey, I need you to fix some shit around the office, or it was like, hey, I need you to like do data entry this week. And those are the weeks I hate the most. Sitting at a keyboard typing is the worst thing. Like if you're, you know, whatever. So yeah.
Well, how often? How many hours per day are you in front of a computer now?
More. But you know, unless I'm editing stuff, I'm not typing the whole time. You know, that looking off to the side and like typing is just it's terrible. And that, you know, I actually I was a landscaper right up until I got this other job, and the reason why I stopped landscaping was I was digging ditches by this oak tree, and I blasted my funny bone, and my arm went numb for 3 weeks. And I was like trying to work through it. And I didn't have a car at the time. So I was commuting from Oakland on BART into Orinda, Lafayette area. That's where my boss's main clientele was. So basically everything was uphill from the BART station. So I was biking uphill every day with the numb arm, and then shoveling and doing irrigation and all this crap. And I was like, I need to find another job, because I'm not, like, at the time I was convinced I wanted to play music for the rest of my life and maybe make a job of it, you know, and stuff. Yeah. And you can't do that with a numb arm. So
what happened with the numb arm? What, it just came back?
It just came back. Like I just had to stop using it for 3 weeks or whatever.
God, I'd have been terrified after the first hour.
Yeah, I was really getting nervous. I was like, dude, I remember being at band practice. I was just starting Brainoil up around that time. And I had this other grind band, Lana DeGaulis. I was pretty much practicing 5 days a week. And I was just like, dude, like I can't feel my arm anymore. And so I had to like stop jamming for a couple of weeks, which was kind of a big deal for me at the time, you know, and stuff. And so I was just like, I got to quit, you know, and my arm came back. So I was stoked. Okay. I took that as a godsend.
Yeah.
I'm back, bitches.
And look at you now, man. You living the dream. You got rid of that day job. You ever use your skills around the studio, your handyman skills, your IT skills?
More of my IT skills than my handyman. Yeah. Because when it comes to building stuff, I'm not the best, you know, construction worker. You know, I know more about like plants and irrigation and that kind of stuff which doesn't happen in Earhammer too much. And then handyman, I can swing a hammer, I can cut, but designing shit, somebody's got to tell me what to do. So I get my buddies to help me with that, you know, stuff. So I got a good friend that runs, he's a contractor and stuff, and he's done a lot for me around here in the past, you know, decade. So if I have anything, you know, my last handyman job was replacing the kitchen counter and stuff in there. I had to deal with that, which I was just like, you know, did it. It looks great. It's cool. You know?
Yeah. It's about running a studio that you don't hear about. The maintenance. I had to clean the bath.
Yeah. So that does happen. Yep. Yeah. Think about the guy mixing albums as cleaning a toilet too, you know. So
Lynn John up after Pete Townsend in 1970, I heard. No, that's not true. But I have an opinion from a health expert here. He hit his ulnar nerve. Apparently, you hit your ulnar nerve.
Oh, thank you for that. I'll never do that again.
I know you won't that, but there you go. You hit your ulnar nerve, and apparently it's gnarly when you compress that thing. So there you go.
It's good. It's good to know. It was. It sucked.
So hey, since we're backtracking and bringing up that my memory is horrible, but Greg lobbed one to me asking you know, about the splits that Violation when recorded at Earhammer, and I totally forgot that we did the Death Grave split with you guys too.
Yeah, we did that one.
I was like, wait.
Yep. We did all.
Totally forgot about. We did a split with your band. Like, did you do anything else? I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, they were just handed to me. The only thing I really remember about being out there was we're loading gear, and I heard somebody threaten to shoot somebody else, and next thing you know, 10 minutes later, there was a drive-by.
Yeah, that happens. So it doesn't happen as much, but man, the first time I did Mortuous, it was with Cole Jones was still playing drums for him, and
Cole Jones.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Me either.
He's still around and kicking, but he's in deep hibernation. I think like he's got a family and a real job. You know, he's one of those guys.
Fucking worship gore metal when I was back in '99, 2000. Man, I was man.
Oh man, watching that guy play drums is phenomenal. I mean, even during Mortuous, it was just like, damn, I love watching that guy play drums. I remember we used to get cymbals from him, like back in my old band, Lana DeGaulis used to get cymbals from him and Chio, all the busted shit, you know? It was like to pass it to the fucking broke ass band that's living in their jam space, you know?
Oh, what a guy.
Yeah, it was cool. But yeah, he's such a killer dude. But he had, as you know, he has a crazy big drum kit and stuff, and we're loading, and it was a similar thing, man. And like it was just like we're loading, saw a fight down the street, and we're just like, we need to either like finish loading really fast, or we need to just run everything back inside, shut the door, and sit this out. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
We opted just to you know, get it in the car and get out of there, you know. But it was like Love you guys. Short goodbye tonight, you know. So
Get the fuck out of here.
yeah. Just get out of here before something stupid happens, you know. So
wow. So you and Joe have been on the same wax.
Yeah. Different sides, same wax.
Yeah.
Joe, send me a copy of that wax. Come on, we're
I do. I have copies. I can send it to you. It came with a magazine too.
Yeah, I need one.
Yeah.
We're co-hosts. You should be sending me all your shit for free.
Where you at, man? You got to inquire about it.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I think I have the Clitorati split, and I've got a couple other. I don't even have a record player, but I have a couple of your vinyls. So,
send me that wax so I can look at it.
It smells good.
Yeah, it does smell good. I've smelled it.
Man, I gotta say, quarantine. I got my turntable up here because I always just listen to records in San Jose at Fern's house because she's got a badass Techniques table, you know, gear driven. And I got one up here, but I was just like, it's cool. I'll just listen to stuff down there. It says COVID, man. I've alphabetized my records, and now I've got my turntable running, and now I'm back to early 2000s where I'm just buying records like crazy. I'm like, I better stop, but maybe not. Maybe I just keep buying records. I don't know. And
keep adding to that collection.
Yeah.
I think right now we all just need to do stuff that makes us happy, man.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that's bumming people out, and man, if you can take any time of your day to just chill and just be happy for a second, do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Breaking all those old records out from the 90s, man. That's some of it's great, some of it's terrible, actually.
That was another question I have. Do you have any favorite records that you weren't a part of? The ones that maybe influenced you, or just in general stuff you like to throw on?
Absolutely. I think Misery Index, Ass Sucks Misery Index is one that I've never stopped listening to ever since I got in the mid 90s. Mm-hmm. That's a great one. Devo, you know, like I love Are We Not Men is always a fun one to throw on.
My favorites.
It's a great record. I like the early Spitz stuff is fun. Throw on. Actually, all the Spitz is. I mean, honestly, there's not a bad Spitz record, but you know, I don't have any of the newer stuff. And then, trying to remember, man, we go through. Yeti. Have you heard of that band Yeti by any chance? They're like a heavy prog band from. They have a band called. So long story short, the keyboard player passed away. The other two band members wound up getting all the synthesizers. They have a band called Pinkish Black now as their current band. Okay. But they think like kind of like Magma, maybe like it's kind of in that realm. But there's no vocals on the Yeti stuff. It's just all instrumental. But that record gets a lot of play. That's an Old Life is Abuse record, but super sick. That's just some weirdo shit, you know. But those are great ones. I can't even think of what else, man. I used to throw on Lysol all the time, but man, I don't know. Like now I've been hearing all this crazy stuff about Buzzo. I'm like, what's going on with that? I don't know much about it. That he basically like, and I don't know I don't know what to say about it, but you know, he's basically really conservative, like on the right wing stuff. Like he's buds with the dude who started Vice magazine and stuff, which the guy who left or whatever, because he's pretty right wing. But at the same time, I'm not on here to talk trash, but Lysol is a great record, and Joe Preston is one, like Thrones, another great one. If you've ever gotten to him, those are great records that I put on a lot, you know. So I don't know, goes on forever. As far as new shit, the new Blood Incantation's sick. I've been spinning that a lot.
Blood Incantation. Joe, where are they from?
They are from Denver. I'm actually hoping to run into to those guys. I don't know. I gotta just keep posting on my Instagram that I'm in Denver. You know, and hopefully they'll come swoop me up and we'll go do fun things. But I doubt it will happen. Yeah,
Joe's talking about Blood Incantation for a few weeks now, knowing that he's heading up to Denver. So if anybody from Blood Incantation's watching, can somebody pick up Joe and take him out to nice ice cream or something like that?
I got to meet them in Baltimore a couple years ago.
At the
Yeah, Maryland Death Fest. I didn't get to see him play, but we were hanging out in front of the hotel at like 3 a.m. with this massive circle of like 4 or 5 different bands, and just everything was being passed. There was no direction, the right direction, dude. It was madness. I don't know how the cops didn't get called on us. So we just had this big. It looked like there was like a fight going on or something, and someone was getting their ass beat in the center of it, but that's not what was happening.
Just having a good time.
Yeah, it was dope though. Great band.
Yeah, they're great, man. The first time we saw them, they Deathgrave was playing a show in San Jose, and there was already I want to say there was already 6 bands on it. It was some like, you know, Paul Barfo booked it or something, I think, originally, and there was, so, you know, he's Power Violence style, so he'll stack a bunch of shit on, you know.
Yeah.
And I got a phone call, and it was like, hey, there's this band Blood Incantation that, can they jump on the show? And our initial reaction was like, fuck, there's already 6 bands, you know? And then we went and listened to them. We're like, they're pretty sick. We should just throw them on, you know, kind of thing. So like, we're like, yeah, throw them on, dude.
I love that.
You know?
Yeah.
It was, and we saw them live, and they were fucking sick, man. We were like, dude, this is something else, you know? So
they are dope. I got to see them when they were in Sacramento touring with, they were just on a big old tour. They've been touring a lot, actually.
Yeah, them and Necrot, man, they're both like equally busy.
Monsters.
Stuff. I mean, because Blood Incantation also has Spectral Voice, which is 3 of the same dudes, and those guys tour a lot too. So I mean, I can't imagine those guys are ever home, you know. So I mean, now they
living
are.
the life.
Yeah, well, I hope they're busy, because this is a good. I mean, it's not a great year for music and being in a band. So if anybody can stay busy, I'm really happy for them. So,
yeah.
good.
Well, BI has a gong now, so be careful. They're gonna get fucking wild now.
How do you properly capture the sound of a gong when you're trying to record it?
Man, you get a big fucking gong and it'll be badass. That's really.
Yeah. Do you have to like step out? Do you have to like record it from a distance, or do you put a mic right fucking on that thing, or what?
You know, every time I get a gong, I throw a couple mics up, because I think proximity is important, right? The lower you get, the closer you get more low end and all that, and some of that cool vibrations that just make your hair stand up. But then sometimes it gets too woofy or whatever, so you put something a little further back and try to get a little bit of ambiance too. You know, that shimmer on top. Stuff. Yeah. That's what I do. I throw a couple mics up and see what happens, you know, stuff. But that's kind of what I find.
Recording the gong. I always wondered about that, because they're fucking loud.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited, man. Like Paul posted that he's like, yeah, Blood Incantation got a gong. And I was like, oh yeah, shit, you know, and I wrote him, was like, what's up with that? And he showed a photo of it with the drum kit, and I was like, that thing is fucking huge. he's like we borrowed, I guess I can't remember who it was, but like one of their brothers is like has a gong, because I think they're like a drum instructor or something crazy. I'm not sure what the deal is, but he's like, yeah, we got a gong from them and used it for the record, so we went and bought a bigger one for us, you know. And I'm like, dude, it sounds sick on the album. So
that's gonna make some Mortal Kombat shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. Well, Greg, I know you're a busy man.
Yeah.
So we'll let you go. I want to say thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude, it's a pleasure. I love, man, your insight. You know, someone who's recording bands during this time, and I've just been very curious on how that's going. So thank you for your insight. Everybody, check out Brainoil, check out Deathgrave, check out Shrink Wrap Killers. Check Greg out on Instagram. He's Lemur Mutation. What's up with Lemur Mutation?
Lemur Mutation.
Where did that come from?
So there's a myth that humans came from lemurs. And so that's kind of a play on it, is that so lemurs originated in Madagascar, according to this thing, you know. Originated in Madagascar. Some of them wound up on the log and floated into Africa. They started evolving into apes and humans and all that. So that's what the origin of that is. So
do you believe it?
Fuck, I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe any of it, man. I don't know what, we're just a bunch of turds that are on this planet for a while,
I hear you. We'll find out. We'll find
Well,
out one of these days.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of awesome time machine that'll probably only work one time, and then we'll go back to the evolution of man, and then it's going to break. And then we're never, because I mean, there's not a time machine right now. We would know, right? Because we'd have a bunch of paradoxes.
That's
at this
right.
point,
Somebody would have came back.
Yeah, like, I mean, shit, like, picture two Big Joes in a room. There's got to be a time machine, right? Like, if that happens. So, anyways, that's a whole nother thing. But I
had to ask.
Yeah.
All right, Greg, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much. Once again, everybody check out Brainoil, Deathgrave, Shrink Wrap Killers. If you got a project, hit him up. Earhammer Studios. He's probably busy, but get your email in now. So, all right, Greg, we're going to send you off. Thank you so much, man. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, man.
What a guy. There he goes.
What a nice guy.
There he goes. What a guy, man. What a guy.
Greg is a lot of fun to work with.
I've never met Greg before, so I just met him right there. And
I met him only going to the studio, but yeah, it's he's fun to interact with, and following him on Instagram is always is funny too.
That was the easiest interview.
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man.
Now it's falling to crap now that he's gone. Like, we need him part of the show.
Yeah, he was really. Yeah, he had a lot of stuff. He was good at filling up those silences.
He was.
Yeah,
he's really easy, and working with him in real life too. It's just the same. It's a fun, really easygoing time. I'd say working with him is exactly like how he described. Especially, I've gone in there, and my bass tone. I've gone in there and was like, hey, so my bass has got to sound like this. Or he goes like, what are you doing here? And I explained to him, and, explained to me why it wouldn't work, or why I have one part with, where I'm using a distortion pedal on a wah, and I'm trying to do like Cliff Burton style stuff. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing? He comes running into the room. It's like, are you meaning to do that? I'm like, yeah, I was just trying to make like bass solo noises, when he's just getting up there and doing a lot of feedback, and
yeah,
pretty much, just doing shit like that. But he came in and was like, dude, what's that? Was
he pissed, or was he?
He was just confused at what was going on, and how I think maybe he didn't realize I had a wah pedal. So it just sounded really took over the sound. I think the song came from the Church of Go Fuck Yourself. Okay. And not to get all, but that's the song I was talking about. But yeah, he came in like running, like, what is going on with it? He thought maybe something was unplugged, and just doing a lot of static,
Did he ask you to remove the wah pedal? Or was
I think once he figured out what was going on, and that's what I was trying to accomplish, he was like, oh yeah, then go for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, well, at least he seemed to be nice about it, so that's good.
Super nice. I don't think he was mean at one point at all.
I don't see how he could be. Guy's too nice. Won't stop saying nice things about him, so don't ask me to.
What a nice guy.
The first recording session I ever was part of, recorded with Sam Pura over at the Panda Studios. Good man, good friend. Just saw him again this year. And he's so smart, and he's such a good engineer, but he will be mean. It's not mean though. It doesn't feel mean, but he's clearly being mean. I remember Jordan was plugged in his guitar, and he's playing a couple of riffs, and he just goes, hey, can you turn off that fucking reverb? It sucks. And Jordan had never been spoken to like that before, so he was kind of like, okay, I turn off the but that's when, as I was just explaining to Greg, that's where I learned to respect the producer and not just do what he says. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. Mm-hmm. He knows. I don't know. He knows. I don't know. He knows.
Yeah, just do your job, dude. Like, shut up, play the guitar, and he's gonna do his job. Yeah,
it's funny, and Sam will be listening and be like, that fucking sucks. Do it again. And then he'll look at someone in the room and go, what the fuck did you say? I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding. And then he'll tell Billy right before, like he told our bass player Billy right before he got ready to, he was getting ready to plug in. And how's this for a confidence booster? He looks at Billy and goes, "I really hope you're not one of those bass players that sucks, dude. I really hope you're not one of those bass players that sucks." And Billy was like, "Whatever." And he wasn't. Billy killed it. But it's just, you know, having a producer that knows their shit is really, really important. And if they're a little mean, that's okay. I'd prefer if they were nice. But hey, you know, seems like you had a nice experience with them. So
no, it was a blast every time.
Good. Well, I was gonna read some, as I said, I was gonna read some poetry. I sort of hinted at it last week, but I think we'll push the poetry reading another week. Because you know, after the interview, it's like, why the fuck do people watch? You know, it's just you and me.
Right. No, everyone's gone.
Yeah, everyone's gone. Yeah, what do you got going on today out there in Denver?
You know, like I said, I did a lot of walking around yesterday, so I'm probably going to take it easy today. I know we have dinner reservations, but just if I keep just talking about Blood Incantation and mentioning Paul's name, I hope he's just going to pull up and be my knight in shining armor, you know, my death metal knight in shining armor, and just fucking take me to just give me a real bass to play. Just that's all I really want, man.
Somebody at him, please. Somebody watching the show.
At this man.
Well, good. I hope you have a great day out there in Denver. How's the weather? That's a question, but I'm genuinely curious how the weather is in Denver right now.
It's nice. We're doing around 80, and then it's starting to chill down at night. Now, last night wasn't too bad, but the night before got chilly. But it was weird driving out here. It felt like the smoke was following us. So I don't know whose smoke it is, because you know California is fucking horrible, and I was super excited to leave, which I never had that experience before. You know, like fuck, let's get out of here. But driving all the way out here, man, I mean, I don't know if it's California or Oregon or Washington, but fuck, dude, the smoke is still out. It's just really high.
Yeah,
really high up.
Someone told me on the East Coast that they were getting some hazy skies and smoggy.
And I heard it's because of us too. I've heard that the California smoke is all the way.
If you look at the map, it's brutal. Like you know, map where it's green, where it's not smoky, and then it's all red where it is smoky. It's literally the whole West Coast is red. Yeah. So of course that smoke is going to make its way over. I'm not a meteorologist, I'm not a meteorologist.
You're not a smokeologist?
I'm not a smoke or a meteorologist.
Damn, you go to weed college?
Well, Joe, it's been a fun show. You got anything else?
You know what? I don't think I do. Fuck. Where are my notes? Let's see here. No, but that's it for me, my man.
That's about. Oh, you do have notes.
I was just writing down things that Greg said. You know, like lemurs and. I wrote down Yeti. Anything if he started mentioning animals, I started writing it down.
I need to know. Yeah, I find my attention sort of drifts when I start to write things down as the guests speak. So I'm trying not to do that. But at the same time, I do want to write stuff down because it's good, you know, because you can go back and refer to those things. I'm learning how to interview live, basically.
Well, damn, dude, you're doing a pretty damn good job. I don't know.
Well, thank you. But
I'm just sitting here just watching it going like, dude, you're so good at this.
You know, one thing that my fiance coach Laura pointed out, she watches the show every week. Shout out to her. Yeah. One thing she pointed out is that sometimes I'll be looking at another screen sort of in the middle of the show. I'll be trying to ready something, you know, for the show. And you will be saying something to me, maybe ask me a question, and I will just straight up not answer. Have you noticed that I've done this?
Yeah, but you're like that in real life, so like I'm just used to you ignoring me. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn, I hope I'm not. Well,
like, hey JP, you got that $20 you owe me, and you're just like, huh?
I thought I was ignoring you because I was sort of paying attention to other stuff. Like I'm trying to get a YouTube video popping on my other monitor so I can get it up on the broadcast over here. And sometimes while I'm doing that, my attention sort of wanders. And Laura says, yeah, he'll ask you a question and then you'll just go on and talk about something else. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
like so, man. How do you feel about that? You know, that drum sound in Metallica. You know, Kill or Saint Anger, and you're just off talking about
yeah. I'm like, I have some poetry to read.
talking about your poetry. I'm excited for the poetry.
Yeah. Well,
I can't wait to
Yeah.
see what you got.
yeah. We'll talk about it next week. Got
All right,
poetry.
well, then I'll show up for sure. Then
Yeah, it'll be a good one. It'll be a good show. Next week on the show, I believe we have a guest.
I believe we do.
I believe we got Jose from Bonded by Blood. Right? That's next week.
Yeah.
Believe it is. Yeah, Jose from Bonded by Blood's going to be on the show next week. We're going to talk to him. It's going to be fun. Another fella I've never met. Somehow our paths have never crossed. I don't know how that's happened. Us both being in thrashy bands for the last decade and stuff. But
Well, and you're both down in Southern California too. You should probably go hang out with them and go get a soda pop.
maybe we could do the interview live. Maybe I could.
Ooh.
That'd be awkward. Yeah. Yeah, I've never met the guy, but
Great guy. Great guy.
that's what I hear, and I can't wait to meet him. And I know he's been grinding away on the scene for quite a while. So I've got a lot of questions about that. So next week, be sure to tune in. I got Jose from Bonded by Blood. If you're watching us on Twitch, please give us a heart, give us a follow. Trying to get to that affiliate status so we can keep the lights on. There is a small fee running the show. It's small, but yeah. Hook us up with a follow. Let us get to that affiliate status. And I've had a fun time. Joe, you look great. I love that smile.
Oh.
Yeah. That's my guy. All right. Well, let's sign off. What do you say?
I'm good. Let's do it.
All right. Well, for Big Joe, I'm JP. It's been the morning after. And we'll see you next week. Peace out. Peace out. Nah, I don't like that. I need a new
Love,
sign
peace, and chicken grease.
Ooh, you didn't make that up though. It's got to be original.
No, that was like a 90s.
Love, peace, and well, that's a good placeholder though. We're gonna stick with that one. Love, peace.
I'm writing that down too next to Lemur Mutation. Love. You got chickens.
Well, love, peace, chicken grease. Do I got that right? Okay. All right. Well, for Big Joe, I'm JP. It's been the morning after. Love, peace, chicken grease. We'll see you next week. Bye now.